I can hear Mom in the background.
You gotta stop her.
Mom! And I can hear Burke. This is great. We need to build out a studio. When are we going to do that?
We're going to build that. Once we have 565 followers.
Well, we're at 5.
Are we live right now?
Yeah, we're rolling.
Oh, we're rolling.
Yep.
Should I tell Mom to stop talking in the background?
Yes.
Well, let me call her right now.
We're at 507 listens is what we're up to. Very happy about it.
This is week 4?
This is episode 4.
Nice.
Week 4. It's
like
your
it.
third week.
My third week, yeah, but that's right. I was out with COVID. Still have residual. I'm fine. But hey, now we can hear you in the background, so you guys have to be a little bit lower.
Okay, we'll be quiet.
Okay.
Wait, can you hear Brooks TV right now?
No.
No.
No? Okay.
You're going to be quiet. And don't ambush us and pull that shit, all right?
Okay.
It's called daddy issues, not mommy issues.
Okay, you got it.
Bye.
Bye.
So the good news is, I have this cough thing, which is not, it's probably allergies or whatever, but I'm going and I have an appointment with an ENT next week. So hopefully.
Are you nervous?
I'm nervous to be intubated, but because I don't
You're going to be, they have to intubate
not
you?
for that one, I don't think, but I think I'll find out more. But no, it's been going on for 10 years. Matter of fact, my old roommate.
It's 100% allergies.
Yeah, 100. Last episode, my roommate from undergrad, Gene Suk, who were my close friends, he heard my cough and he sent me a text. He goes, "Still got the cough from undergrad, don't you?" So
yeah, it's a classic Jon.
Jon Savage.
Yeah, sure.
Savage, nice bitches.
So we're here. Hopefully we get the full episode of this week. Sorry for last week. I don't know what happened. We had some technical difficulties. The audio just sounded so crunchy after we cut it that it just didn't.
It's okay.
Yeah.
We'll continue where we left off in a moment about that. But so Bronsen, so how great our followers are increasing, which is awesome.
They definitely are.
And hopefully it'll continue. And we are very appreciative. We've been getting, again, not to toot our own horn, but really we're so happy with the amount of feedback we've gotten, the positive feedback. And it's great to have this fan base, the loyalty and the followers and the positive support.
Yeah, and we started an Instagram page, so everyone go follow our Instagram. It is, let me get the exact handle up. Let's see. It is daddy_issues podcast on Instagram.
Okay, I don't know how any of that works, but cool.
So we'll be posting updates on our episodes. We'll be posting some behind the scenes pics. Some memes, maybe.
Yeah, well, I still don't know what a meme is. But people, how does it work? Is it like a Facebook where they can go ahead and post, they can ask questions on there and we can answer them the following week?
Yeah. Yeah, we can do
good.
that.
So we do some interaction with our fan base.
Shoot us a DM. That stands for direct message. That's
okay, so what is that same as a text?
Yeah, but it's through Instagram. It's like a text through Instagram.
So they just call it DM through Instagram.
Direct message, yeah.
Great, okay.
Like, have you heard of slide into someone's DMs? Do you know that saying?
I've heard of a DM, but slide into someone's DM, no, I never heard of that.
So, like, if a guy is trying to hit up a girl who he likes and he follows her on Instagram, he'll slide into her DMs, meaning he, like, will message her on Instagram, and then since he doesn't have her phone number or something. And so now that's just like a slang thing. Like you slide into someone's DMs means you're trying to hook up.
Another positive thing for your generation.
What's negative about that? That's just, you guys used to call it courting. We call it sliding into DMs.
No, courting was a normal thing. You called the person, spoke to them, and an interaction rather than making some fake bullshit up and you hide behind texting or DM when you really give them some false reality and what you have, rather than just people skills. But whatever, that's a whole separate.
But it's just new versions of people skills.
It's new version, it's not people skills.
It is.
No, you type this shit.
Right,
what
but
is it? What's that
person.
Minecraft? What's that thing that Stone does, whatever? Minecraft? Where isn't that the game where you can pretend like anything you want?
Sort
like
of,
Ready Player One?
Yeah.
Okay, give me a fucking break. People, then again, going back to the whole thing, it's this false reality that people create of the image that they want to be perceived. And it's like, it's just not real.
Oh, I agree that it's not real. Well, DMing is just, that's texting. I agree that Instagram is not real. But it's curated.
Right. But you do know, Bronsen, it's easier to hide behind a text or a DM, which is the same thing, and be a tough guy or say
Totally.
stuff rather than learn to deal with people's personalities and have a conversation where, look, you know,
Totally.
Don't you agree it's better to have a conversation because to know somebody better than Instagramming?
I 100% agree. Totally. I always would rather choose to meet up in person, have a in-person conversation face to face. But sometimes you can't meet like if there's some girl that I'm interested in.
All right, but it's a good thing.
How can I meet her besides texting her on Instagram?
Okay, the texting is
not
good.
that I'm sliding into everyone's DMs.
Listen. The good, I'm okay with it initially, but the problem is you even admit. Remember that other girl that you were dating here, and I'm like, what are you doing? I'm like texting so and so. I'll keep the name for the privacy, right? And I'm like, why don't you call? Because we just don't call. And I'm like,
you just don't.
Right. Okay.
But Dad, that's just the world's changed now.
Okay, but my point is,
in your business 30 years ago, in your law business, you didn't send emails. Now you send hundreds a day. That doesn't mean it's worse. It just means it's different.
Okay, I'm saying from a fact standpoint, when a guy and girl or a gender neutral is with a gender neutral,
or they them, or fairykin or wolfkin or whatever.
What's this
non-binary?
Non-binary bullshit thing. When they're connecting and talking to each other, and when it just, I won't do that. I think it's much.
He keeps every episode. He touches the mic, touches
just
the arm.
Just like you fidget when you pick your fingers, which is right, same thing. Yeah. So my point is, it's better to have the conversation with the two together to get to know each other and constantly texting.
I agree.
Because the communication,
it's just not the way of the world anymore.
Well, and that's the reason why people don't have self-confidence. That's why they feel like they're bullied. They give a shit what other people think about. It's that whole same thing. If people
but it's not our fault. We didn't ask to be bullied. We didn't ask to be.
Episode of what our fault. That's our parents' fault, and we caused it. I'm just telling you, it's a bad thing, and I think chivalry is lost. Old-fashioned values are lost, and I think you kids need to fucking interact.
Chivalry was lost in the 1700s.
No, you kids, your generation needs to go back and be a little more old-fashioned and communicate with one another face-to-face rather than stupid social media.
But we can't now even. We're legally not allowed to.
Well, only in California.
Yeah, so anyways.
So thank you to our listeners.
Shout out to our fans.
Just want to say thank you for the listeners.
I do want to say the one constant outside of America, because our American fans are always listening, but for our international fans, our one Kenyan fan has listened to every episode. So all 3 episodes have a listen from Kenya. So he's the real homie, or she is the real homie of the podcast.
Or it.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
I don't think
it's a little sketchy.
Kenya, I don't think they're worried with non-binary, gender neutral. They've got
other issues
to worry about.
Whoever you are from Kenya, why don't you reach out to us on our Instagram page? Bronsen,
or it could just be someone using like a VPN.
Say it again, Bronsen, the Instagram.
Daddy_issues podcast.
Plural, podcasts.
Cast.
Right, CASTS.
No, because we're not more than one podcast.
Oh, right. So
we're a singular podcast.
So Daddy_issues.
Podcast.
Podcast T, nothing else.
Correct.
Gotcha. Okay. So the one from Kenya, reach out to us. Be curious to know who you are, and thank you for your support. And it's either great that we have a great following and listening with you, or you really have a sad life, you have nothing else to do. But either way, we'd like to hear from you.
Yeah, we would. That's the one constant through each episode. All right. I guess we should probably leave off, because we were cut off last episode in the middle of a conversation, literally cut off. So I feel like we should pick up that conversation from where it left off. Basically, remember we were talking about alcohol, our different views on alcohol, and then we started to transition into another substance, and it got cut off. So I think we should do a little talk about that, and that substance is marijuana, or how you call it,
ganja. Yeah. So I never tried it. I've never done marijuana or vaping or that stuff. But I had my mother-in-law over for dinner, and she'd drive me fucking crazy. I think I'm gonna start smoking pot tonight. No,
yeah,
I'm literally not going to. But oh my God, Bronson, I'm still coming down off of that dinner.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So you don't smoke,
and you don't.
You never have. I don't.
And you never have.
No.
Good. I'm proud of you.
But I have nothing against it. I personally even think it's a better substance than alcohol. In terms of like, you don't get a hangover, you're not going to die from it. Like, it's not poisoning your body like alcohol does.
Actually, it's scientifically proven it does damage your brain cells, and it does stay in your system for about 30 days.
Well, staying in your system is different.
Yeah, but I've spoken to doctors.
Right, but it also cures, or not cures, it also helps with the glaucoma. It helps
Yes,
with...
I agree, but
so-
what are we talking about? Are we talking about...
But also
recreational-
Advil. I can take 3 Advil and that is going to destroy my liver.
Okay,
That doesn't mean it's
3
bad.
Advil is not going to destroy your liver, but are we talking about for medicinal purpose or for social?
Whichever. Just
they're
legal.
different.
Just in terms of legality. Because
But
alcohol
there's
is,
diff-
is
But
legal.
there's different levels of legality. Right now, things are legal for medicinal purposes.
In some places it's legal recreational.
Correct, but which one are we talking about?
Let's talk about recreational then.
Okay. First of all, I have zero issues with it being legalized for medicinal purposes. Zero. Doesn't mean that it's used only for medicinal purposes. That's a whole separate issue in itself. But if it in a perfect world, like a utopia, if it was used solely for medicinal purposes, I have zero issue with it. Legalizing it for recreational, I'm 110% opposed to it.
Would you want alcohol to be illegal?
Yeah, I'm against alcohol. I
So
don't see any good
you
to
would
it.
be okay with the federal government making alcohol consumption illegal?
Me personally?
Yes.
I don't think there'd be a problem. Yes, I'd be okay with that.
That's so
Normal?
it's just taking freedoms away, don't you think? You're all about freedom and having government not be able to tell you what to do.
So listen, maybe okay.
Like why should you be able to tell some guy who gets off work and like lights up a joint while he's watching TV, sitting on his couch before he goes to bed? What's the harm of that? Why should that be illegal?
Okay, there is no harm if they do it in their own home.
It's illegal to smoke in public.
I don't care people do heroin in their home or meth. I don't care. But once it trickles into driving or affecting somebody else, I have an issue with it. Even alcohol, I don't care. I truly don't care if people drink. I don't care what people do. It doesn't bother me what people can do what they want to do. The problem is when it affects innocent people on the road or things like that, then I have an issue with it. And I don't know how to create the boundaries either, because anytime you allow people to do something like that, there are always going to be issues, and there's the pros and the cons to it. So I again, I don't care what people do as long as it doesn't affect me or the people I care about.
I drink, you know that. I don't smoke, you know that. If I smoked marijuana, how would you feel about that?
Oh, I'd be pissed.
Why?
Because one, I'm very...
I'm a 24-year-old man.
Doesn't
I live on
matter.
my own. I pay my own bills. What if I wanted to just
I would
do
be-
that
I
in
would-
the
I'd be
own
very-
comfort of my home, not bothering anyone, going off your rules? If I just sat at my home,
Yeah, but-
didn't affect anyone else.
Yeah, but you're my son's different. I would honestly, I'd be disappointed. I wouldn't be happy.
But why? That's what I'm
Because
interested in knowing.
I don't think what does he need to take a drug for to change your state of mind and make you feel better about yourself? What is it that bothering you that you need to have the buzz? It would, and again, I'm coming from a far extreme, so I get it. And I don't care. I have plenty of friends that smoke pot or take the gummies. It truly doesn't bother me. It would bother me if my boys did. Just being honest with you.
So it would bother you for the fact that it would disappoint you that I feel like I want my mind to be altered. That's the base.
I just think that our upbringing, how knowing what's important to me, what's not important to me, and how I feel strongly about it, and the way I raised you kids, it would be a disappointment and bother me. Doesn't mean I don't.
So you think
love
it's like inherent, like marijuana is inherently like
bad. I do.
It has
yes.
bad connotations to
Yes,
it for you.
I do think it's bad.
And
I also think, and as I think, I don't know if this came out in the last podcast. I don't think it did because we talked about it, and it got cut off. But the thing is, I have friends who are recovering drug addicts who've been clean for years, and every single one of them say that marijuana is a gateway drug. They literally want a greater high. I have a friend that I won't mention who, that they would let their kid do pot. Their kid got addicted to heavy drugs. Thank God they had the money. They put the kid in rehab for about close to 2 years. The kid's doing great now. No problems, fine. It's been many years now. Kid's been clean. So why do it? I don't know. I don't care if people want to do it. I just don't want my family to do it. I don't want my family to do it. And I would be very disappointed and I'd be bothered by it. Just being honest with you.
I think that it carries a lot of like cultural stigma from history. Not really anymore with the younger generation, but I think you were raised in a world where pot was like really evil. It was what bad people did. It was like the drug of the streets. It was what losers and potheads, that whole stigma. So I think you carry that with you.
I don't carry the stigma. It's not a stigma. It's literally how I feel. I don't
Right,
like
but that's what.
no, but it's not
literally how you feel
I don't like seeing people do it. I think it's to me a weak thing. I don't like
but
it.
But isn't alcohol also a weak thing?
Yes, I said that. I don't like it.
But I do that and you don't.
I don't like it. I don't like it when if you drink around me. I don't like it. Mom wants you to, because mom will say, "Oh, Bronsen, have a drink," because she can have like a drinking buddy. I don't like it. I think there's sort of like it's like you go to a strip club. I don't believe you take your son to a strip club. I think there's certain levels of, you're still my kid, you're not my buddy, although I love you and we have a good relationship, and now it's changed where you become older, but you know how I feel about certain things. It's like, I'm old fashioned. I wouldn't, even though I know you would live with your girlfriend, let's say in LA, if your girlfriend comes here, you're sleeping in separate rooms until you're married in my house. It's just the way I am.
Yeah, but I'm trying to get to the bottom of why you are that. I'm trying to get to the bottom of the daddy issue.
Well, you're not my
and that's actually another
you're not
interesting
my therapist.
That's another interesting one.
What's that?
The sleeping in different beds. So like if a rule in the Bloom house is whenever we brought a girl home and they were for like a vacation or a holiday or whatever, we would always have to sleep in separate beds.
Correct.
But that changes the day
separate
we get
bedrooms.
That changes the day we get engaged or married.
Married.
So not even engaged.
That's correct.
Why?
Because I think there's a certain level of respect for the parents. It's our house on our
What's the disrespect?
Listen, I just think I think that I'm very old fashioned. I think it's respect for your girlfriend. Okay. I just think it's just under my roof with the parents. I think it's a respect thing and an old fashioned thing. And
I don't necessarily disagree with you, but it's like when my ex and I lived in LA, she basically 98% of the time lived with me.
Correct.
And you knew that, and you knew that we slept in bed
and
together.
I had no issue with that.
Right. So what's the difference?
Because it's sort of like what you don't know doesn't hurt.
But you knew.
But you're out. You're under my house, my rules, my respect. I think that's certain.
But is it of just being in like? Is it the idea that we might have sex? Is that what's disrespectful?
No, I hope you have sex in your 20s.
Right, but so let's say like my future girlfriend and I, before we're engaged, are over the house. If you knew that, like, let's say in hypothetical, you knew 100% we weren't going to have sex, then what's the disrespect of us being in the same bed?
I don't think you should be sharing. I don't.
But you're not giving me a reason.
It's just It's just my rule and how I feel, and it's one of my rules. You don't until you're married, unless you're
not even engaged. Not even saying like we've committed to be married.
No.
So once we sign, the only difference is a legal signing the marriage.
That's just what I feel. That's how I did it with your mom.
I'm just asking why you feel that way.
Because
I don't know. What's the disrespect? I just don't understand what the disrespect is.
I don't want to say disrespect like with a mafia like that. I just think it's an old-fashioned tradition. It's no different when people come into my house with a baseball cap on. I say, take your hat off. Or it's no different when people come in the house or leave. I say to you boys, make sure your friends come and say hello to your mother and I, and say goodbye to your mother and I.
Well, that's just being a nice person saying goodbye.
No, that's called certain values.
Right, but it is. Anyone could understand how it's disrespectful to leave someone's home and not say goodbye to them. That's
okay. Is it any different when your friends just come and be like, "Yo, Mr. Bloom, what's up?" and high five? I go, "I'm not your buddy."
Well, my friends would never do that. That was
say, "I'm not your buddy. I'm there, but I'm your friend's parent." And I just think that there's a separation, and it's just one of.
What if I was with the girl for 10 years, never married, but we had a kid together? We still wouldn't be able to sleep in the same bed.
I'd have to cross that bridge if that ever came.
I know that's a stupid hypothetical, but it's just like
Bronsen. I'm not saying some things don't have a rhyme or reason to it. It's just my rule, how I feel, and it's an old-fashioned value. And I think, and I like to keep tradition and old-fashioned values. And maybe I got it from my parents. Who knows? But I don't know. It's funny when I was with your mom, and we would go to your grandparents' house in Vermont skiing before we were married. It never even crossed my mind to sleep the same. It doesn't mean we didn't sneak into the room at nighttime and leave before the sun got
So you would sleep in the bed, like mom would sleep in your bed.
No,
or
listen,
you
my
would sleep in
point
mom's
is,
bed. You just
we
would sleep in bed for 5 hours together instead of 8 hours.
Typical kids in their 20s. My point is, so our parents didn't know everything, but my parents till this day, just like this, if you were here with your girlfriend, I don't want to catch you in the room together. If you guys were smart
Nor
enough,
would we want to be caught.
correct. I wouldn't disown you and be mad. I get it.
Of course you wouldn't be mad, but no one wants to be in that situation.
But my point is, Bronsen, I would expect to be smart enough to go ahead and make sure that I don't catch you sneaking in her room and vice versa. That's all.
Right, and that never has happened.
That's all. I wouldn't be mad. I'd be
So,
like,
so
Bronsen.
you said earlier what you don't know doesn't hurt you. So you're aware that we would sneak in each other's rooms, and you're okay with that. You just want it's like a house of cards. Like everyone's aware that the other one's aware, but we just all shouldn't tell each other that we're aware. Because you're telling me right now that you would be okay with me, the idea of me sneaking in.
I think you'd be an idiot not to try to sneak
Right, so you're saying that
because
that's
you're
okay.
a 20-something-year-old kid. It's a normal thing to do that.
But do you understand what like?
Yes, I understand what you're saying, but you understand there's a certain respect. And there's a certain
that's why I said
level
I
of
don't necessarily
tradition.
disagree with you.
But I understand where you're coming
When
from.
my ex was over here for the week of Thanksgiving a year ago, we didn't sleep. I didn't even bother you about it. I said, so-and-so, you're going to sleep in this room. I'm going to sleep in this room. Like, I didn't even say, Dad, please just let us.
Correct.
So I understand it, and I know that that's the rule. I'm questioning it because it doesn't really make sense to me.
Okay, I can understand where you're coming from. That doesn't make sense.
Especially
but again,
the fact that you're like,
listen,
I hope you'd sneak into her room.
I would. Okay, listen. It doesn't have to make sense. It's just the rule.
Fair enough.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, fair enough.
And I think, and I'm very old school in many ways. Some ways I'm not. I've grown to be a little bit different, but I can't give them all up. These are my rules.
All right. Going back to the drug thing for a bit, because I think you're going to have some very interesting things to say about this new piece of legislation that was passed. During the election, part of the state of Oregon's like new propositions, you know how in Florida that you voted like yes or no on certain like Florida constitutional things.
Yeah.
So the state of Oregon voted to decriminalize all drugs. So now heroin, cocaine, meth, any drugs, if someone's possessing a small amount of them, it's not a crime. They won't go to prison.
Why would they even propose that?
That's what the people in the state voted for.
Yeah, of course. Good. Let them rot. Let them all. Oregon's a shithole, right? So let them fucking rot. I'm fine with it. You know what it reminds me of, Bronson? It reminds me when we were in Canada and that homeless section.
In Vancouver.
Why don't you explain what I'm talking about?
In the city of Vancouver, they their solution to their homeless problem, or their attempt at a solution, was to devote an entire city block.
It was like 2 or 3 blocks, right?
Yeah. So like a neighborhood within the city, make that the homeless neighborhood. So they brought all the homeless into that area. That's where they have all their like social services. They have, what are they called? Where like homeless people can sleep. I'm forgetting the name for what that's called.
Oh my God.
Like a shelter, a homeless
Shelter, yeah.
They have the homeless shelters there. They have like food banks, all that stuff in that neighborhood. And the homeless people can have complete freedom and complete control of that neighborhood. But if they leave, they just basically aren't allowed to leave.
They hunt them.
No, they don't hunt them, but they bring them back to the area. So it's like if you want to be homeless, you can be homeless in that area, but then it doesn't bleed out into the rest of the city.
Okay, and we drove through that. Was it beyond disgusting? It was shocking.
It was disgusting.
To
I mean,
visually
it's not,
see it was crazy, was it not?
Yeah, I mean it's an interesting solution to the problem though, because it kind of worked. Everywhere else in the city, you didn't encounter homeless people.
Right. So my
Where like you
point
go to
is,
LA and they're just on every corner, even in the nice neighborhoods now, completely everywhere.
So here's the deal. Oregon, whatever you call it, is a fucked up place, right?
Or, see how I view this? I view that as like the ultimate freedom. Like in my ideal world, there would be very few laws, especially about like what a personal individual can do. Like I think anyone should be able to do whatever the hell drugs they want, because who am I to say that Jeremy Smith can't eat a mushroom? Who am I to say that? No, I have no control over Jeremy Smith's life. Let Jeremy, if he wants to ruin his life and kill himself, let him ruin his life. and kill himself.
Yeah, but then what happens if he gets behind a car or that a kid?
We'll make that illegal.
All right, so what
he's gonna take the drugs and get behind. Someone who's going to take drugs and then get behind a car and drive isn't gonna be like, oh shit, it's illegal. I guess I won't do it.
I don't agree. I don't think drugs. I don't think those.
So you think making it legal is gonna be like, people are gonna be like, all right, let's do it and drive? No. The people who are doing drugs are doing it whether it's illegal or not. Those kind of drugs, cocaine, meth, heroin.
I don't know. I think let's see in 6 months how that works out for Oregon.
Right. I don't think it's a good idea for a society where everyone is high on all these drugs. I think that leads to that has negative effects on a society. But I think in theory, I am for people being able to do whatever they want in their own homes, on their own land that they own.
Isn't this the same state that tried to have where with no they police themselves? Is it the same state?
No, that was in Seattle, Washington.
Same fucking shit. Those two are the same shithole, and with California behind them.
But just those cities, like the state of Oregon, is amazing. I really like Portland too. There are problematic people that are living in Portland, and there are problematic ideas going on. But I love the city itself.
Okay,
and the state is beautiful. Oregon might be the most beautiful state in the country.
We need rules, laws, structure, and boundaries. That's what. But
society, also, aren't you for personal freedom, personal liberty?
To some degree, yes. But we as humans require structure, law, just like with fucking children.
What's the difference?
This Montessori school system where the parents talk to the children, let the kids do whatever. It's a fucking joke. That's
a whole different thing.
People need structure. Structure.
I agree. But you're so adamantly against,
or you're so freedoms.
You're so for your freedom to bear arms. You love your freedom to own.
So some have the freedom to do drugs.
So what's the difference between you being so vehemently behind your freedom to own a gun and then you wanting to take away someone's freedom to shoot up? What's the difference?
I need that gun to shoot the fucking crack whore.
When have you ever shot a person in your life? Never.
All you need is one opportunity. Listen for a second. That crack whore or that meth addict is going to break in my house for fucking money.
When have you ever had a break-in by a meth addict or a crack whore? When have you ever had
that? Now that they're making it illegal, it's going to happen. That's my point. So you don't think, listen.
You were for your guns 15 years ago.
Listen.
And you've never, have you ever even encountered someone high on meth? Have you ever seen someone?
My point is this. When you have organized chaos and the inmates running the asylum, you need your guns.
What inmates are running the asylum?
When you have these fucking retarded people that all they want to do is fucking drugs and they vote to legalize every kind of drug there is, that's the fucking inmates running the asylum. You'll say, give it 6 months, then come talk to me. That state is fucking gone. That's the next one. It's first California.
Or it's an experiment in self-governance. The people are saying you can do whatever you want. They're not doing it in terms of COVID lockdowns.
You're going to see what happens. I'm telling you, you will 100%.
I agree. I don't think it's a good idea for a society to be high on drugs. But I also don't think I personally think that people should be able to do what they want.
People should be able to do what they want in certain things, but not necessarily taking drugs, destroying their lives, and so forth. Because, for example, don't we go ahead and say that children and people should have seatbelts in their cars?
I also don't necessarily agree with the idea that we should legally make everyone wear a seatbelt.
Why not?
If I'm a 50-year-old person, I should be.
What's the harm? Put the fucking seatbelt. It takes 3 seconds. You save lives.
Freedom.
No, that's bullshit. That goes back. Listen,
but that's also like I'm on the road surrounded by other citizens. If I'm on my couch in my home on the land I own, I should be able to do whatever the hell I want in my own time.
I have no problem with that. I agree. Do whatever the fuck you want to destroy your life. That's fine. Do it.
Right. But exactly. And that's what Oregonians are saying.
Please, Oregon. Mark my words. 6 months from now, remember the fourth podcast. That city, that state's gonna be in the shitter. Okay, they're gonna destroy their state. You'll see it. Mark my words. 6 months, and that's being nice. Give them 6 months. Fucking moron libtards out in that state. You'll see.
It also is so interesting to me that like the most liberal cities in America are the ones where the people are so outraged. Like the mayor of Portland is the most liberal Democratic mayor in the history of America, and the people are like calling for his head in Portland. And it's like, he's on your side.
No, because that shows you they're fucking stupid people. They don't know what they're even talking about. They're morons. That shows you how stupid and dumb they are. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
And you know what they do? And then they think they know what they're talking about. They fuck with their own states. And you know what they do? Like I said last time, they move to our fucking states and they ruin it. You'll see. I'm telling you. It's a problem.
Or like I said last time, maybe they move and they've realized the error of their ways.
No, because
and they come and they're like,
dumb.
oh, Florida.
You can't teach. Dumb is dumb. You can't change that. All the education in the world, you can't teach people to not be stupid. Most people are their own worst enemy, self-destructive and stupid. Just the way it is. I wish it wasn't that way. And I'm not saying from a pessimistic standpoint. I'm saying from a guy who's going to be 54 years old, what I see, the fucking things I see out there, people are stupid. That's why most people want to be led, and they're morons.
I was listening to something this week. I forget what it was, but they were basically saying that the way you can tell nowadays, like what differentiates a conservative or Democrat and a Republican, or a conservative and a liberal, is their answer to this question. So I'm going to pose it to you. Do you think that some people are better than others?
100%. There's no doubt in my mind.
I forget, it was some author, he said that nowadays, if someone answers no, if someone answers all people are as good,
they're full of
then
shit.
they're a liberal. And if
But
someone
they're
answers,
full of shit. They're hypocrites.
I consider myself not liberal in terms of modern day, and liberal in terms of what it used to mean. But I also believe that some people are better than others. Usain Bolt is a better runner than me, no matter how hard I try. That means that there's some people that are better than others.
Unfortunately, this is going to sound terrible, but unfortunately, there are, even looking like the canine community, right? There are purebreds and there are mutts. There are just some people that are better bloodline, better people, and some people that are more,
the bloodline is a tricky word to use. Bloodline.
Okay, but there are people that are just more intellectual than other people. Some people
There
are stupid.
I consider myself smart, but there are definitely smarter people than me.
Oh, no one's smarter than my Bronsen. Are you kidding me? You show me who they are, I guarantee you're smarter than them.
I think that's an interesting question.
It is.
Because some people would say, I would have used to think that the answer to that is no. Some people are not better than others.
You would have thought.
When I was in high school, I would have said that.
No, when you would have thought that in college, listen for a second. When you were taught by all the liberal fucking teachers that are afraid to face the real world and reality, that behind their books and looking for tenure, that never worked a day in their life, that are going to preach the liberal mentality. And now that you're in the world and you're more mature and you're working and you have a little more cynical in things and you see the way things are, you're a little more realistic and say, no, you see, because you know, we've had these conversations. Bronsen, there's a lot of dumb fucking people out there, are there not?
There are some dumb people.
And do I say,
Definitely.
I can't believe they breathe the same oxygen that we do?
See, that's taking it to a different level.
It's figuratively
I
speaking.
agree that there are dumb people
It's
in the world.
figuratively speaking.
But
I don't
also,
mean it in
we
that way.
need dumb people. We need
We need dumb people, otherwise you wouldn't be smart.
Well, at least half of society has to be dumb because we need a workforce in the world. And smart people don't work. Smart people work in other things.
That makes you sound dumb.
Smart people don't work in fields and factories.
That doesn't mean they don't work. Wait, physical labor is different than other.
Right, but we need our society.
Somebody works.
At least it used to be run on physical
for
labor.
smart guys, slow down there, Kimosabi. I'll tell you this. There are people who do physical blue-collar work that are very smart.
Yes.
Okay.
But in general, you need
those two are not parallel. But what I'm saying is...
I'm not calling blue-collar workers dumb at all.
But what I'm saying is that there just are people, there are just different levels of intellect. It goes back to the thing, like I say, do you want the doctor or the lawyer that got into medical school or law school because they were black or a minority?
Wait, that's a whole different...
No, but listen. Or
we're talking about smart and dumb,
no,
I'm
saying, because that goes back to when you check off the box in colleges that you get preference because they want diversity. Like when our kids went to Pinecrest, the big fucking thing at the welcome, we're diversity. When I look at colleges for all you kids and they talk about diversity, do you want somebody that got into the better school because of the diversity? You want that doctor creating surgery on you, and he's like, "Oh my god,
surgery,
not creating, doing performing surgery on you just because he's like he got into the Ivy League school because he's Indian or black or whatever it is or Spanish." Because what, you cutting me off?
Yeah, this is not a good. Okay, just
all right. We'll do that rant on the next episode then. How about that?
This is going down a path that I don't think is a beneficial path to go down.
Beneficial to who?
To our podcast. How about
Why?
that?
If they don't like it, they don't have to listen to it.
I was talking, okay, let's get off the smart dumb thing because you brought into a racial ethnic thing. I was talking about smart dumb.
I'm talking about, I'm when I say the race
Because when
thing,
I brought up smart dumb, you were instantly like black Indian.
no, that's no one.
So I was like, are you saying white people are smart?
No,
and-
let me finish. Where I was going with that was because in higher education relates to smart as opposed to not smart.
But education doesn't
finish.
exist anymore.
Let me finish.
Okay.
What happens when you go into these colleges and you get a preferential treatment because of a minority status? Okay, doesn't mean you're smart enough to get into the school, but you got it because of your minority status. Now these are people that are in roles or positions, for example, let's say doctors or lawyers, or things that really could be life-threatening things that someone's operating on you, and they got it, let's say Dartmouth because they're a minority, as opposed to they should not have gotten it because they're not as smart to get in, and now they don't know what to do when they're performing surgery on you. That's my point. So it's not a racial thing that I'm making, saying because if you're a minority, you're dumb. Hell no. Okay, because I think a lot of Americans are stupid. They're lazy, they don't work, and a lot of the kids from Asia.
You mean a lot of white Americans? Because there are plenty of.
I'm talking about Americans.
Well, every black person who's born in America is an American.
But I'm talking about.
But you were saying black people into college versus Americans.
Yeah, because you
meant
not
white
versus
people.
America. No, when someone comes from China, things like that, these kids
that's a different story.
They
Those are
work
international.
really hard. Okay, they work harder than the Americans do. So when somebody's black, they're American if they're from America.
Yes.
They're not black. They're Americans.
Yes,
Seriously.
I agree.
So I don't consider them as a minority. They're not African Americans, not from Africa.
Well,
they're Americans. They're no.
I like that
listen,
idea. I like
they're
that,
no
yeah.
more. Listen, I'm a Jewish person. I'm 1/4% of 1%. Okay, I'm not an Ashkenazi or Northern European Jew. I consider myself an American. So if you're black from America, you're an American. Don't play the fucking African American card. It's bullshit. You're American.
Yeah, I
Plain
kind
and
of
simple.
agree with you. Yeah.
So my point is, don't get into a better school than you belong to because you're African American. You're not. You're American. You just happen to be born a different color. Big deal.
Yeah. Okay. I kind
Obviously, it's a trigger for me, right?
yeah, clearly.
Yeah, and so that's what.
Let's take a complete left turn. This is definitely it.
We should have like sound effects, like you should like a left.
No,
turn
we
car
definitely
squeaking.
shouldn't. We're not like a morning radio talk
But
show.
we could be a little bit different. Who's calling in right now? I'm only joking. Go ahead.
This is complete left turn, but it's an issue that you have with me that we got kind of into a little of a fight about the other day, which already has become a meme on the show, which I know you don't even know what that means.
I still really don't even understand the whole
People
meme
have
shit.
been texting it. People text about it. People have been commenting on our Instagram posts about it, about how you constantly tell me to stop picking my nails. So I think we should take the next 10 minutes to get to the bottom of why does that bother you so much? Because it really does.
Okay, first of all, you consider yourself a smart person.
Yes,
You have a high intellect, right?
I would like to think so.
You're a handsome boy. I know you are. You're
Yeah.
a good kid. You carry yourself well in a clean manner, right? You're professional. You have a good job. Okay? You sit there and pick your fucking fingers and your cuticles. Why don't you just pick your nose or your ass? It's the same thing. It's a disgusting habit. You're this well-groomed, maintained young man that it's like a habit thing. And so when
It is. It's like when I'm stressed, I do that.
Okay.
not that better than me like smoking weed
yeah, okay.
to de-stress?
Yeah, and it's also better than you going out and killing people too. We can
Yes,
wait
it
till
is.
But my point is this. My point is you pick your nails, your cuticles, and it creates the pinkness around your skin. So you were at one point when you stopped doing, you say, "Look, Dad, aren't you proud of me? Look how good my cuticles look." So what I'm saying is not to be an ass to you, and it doesn't aggravate me.
But the other day...
let me finish. Let me
Okay.
finish for that. It doesn't aggravate me. I'm just trying to. It's as a parent.
It does aggravate you.
No, listen to me. As a parent, it's my obligation and my duty as a parent to make my children the best people that they can be. Whatever that means. Every kid's different. So, for example, if I say, chew with your mouth closed. If I say, don't pick your nose, or don't pass gas in public, or hold the door for somebody, or whatever it is, or comb your hair, or get your hair cut, or trim your beard. It's the same thing as saying, stop picking your cuticles. That's all it is. Because maybe you're not aware of it,
Right, but
and I'm there bringing it to your attention.
the other
Stop
day
it.
when we got in a fight about it, not even just a...
Not a fight.
Yeah. But Mom said she asked me in front of you, she's like, does that bother you when dad says that? And I said, yes. Okay. And then she said, do you want dad to stop saying that? And I said to you, yes, I would like for you to stop saying that. And then you said, I'm not going to stop saying that.
Mom breastfeeds you kids. And
okay, so let's take mom out of the, I'm telling you right now, let's take mom out of the equation.
Seriously, so therefore, if you have an issue with you, you're going to be 25 in 2 months. Rather than mommy telling, does that bother you about daddy saying that?
Oh, I told you and I'm telling you right now.
I'm not calling you a bad name. I'm not demeaning you. I'm not shaming you. I'm saying stop picking your cuticles. That's all I'm saying. And if you have an issue with that, you could say to me, but by the way, that's an issue? Seriously, just stop picking your fucking cuticles.
But then I could do the same reverse on you.
The difference is you're not my fucking father. You're not my father.
But I'm saying that's an issue for you so much that I
It's not an issue for me.
It is. You talk about it all the time.
No, I just say to you when you pick, I go, I'm reminding you. For example, I like to use the F word a lot. That's just who I am. Okay? Mom says to me all the time, she goes, don't use the F word. Or mom will say to me sometimes when I go, you can't say that. You know, like I don't have a filter. She'll say, no, you got to tone it down with it. I go, no problem. I might not be aware of it. So mom might bring some.
But I'm telling you right now, even if I'm not aware of it, I'd rather pick my.
Well, the bigger issue.
I'd rather just do what I want to do then.
Let's talk about. Mom's like, leave my fucking son alone. I'll beat your ass. And I'm gonna say, quiet, bitch. So
okay, so the main thing that bothers you.
The bigger issue is this. It doesn't bother me. The bigger issue is why are you so bothered, and why do you have the need to pick your cuticles, and why does it bother you when I say stop picking your cuticles? That to me is the issue you should be lying on the couch on.
Not at all. I don't need to pick my fingers. It's an involuntary thing that happens. It's like a stress reliever or a tick. Like it only happens when I'm stressed. So isn't it a good thing that that's my stress relief than pulling my hair out, freaking out at you, yelling at people, being mean? It's like I just pick my nails little, and that's
okay.
How my stress manifests itself.
I don't think anything less of you. I love you to death. You know that. But if you're pulling your hair out or you do those things like that, I still as your parent bring it to your attention. That's all. So I'm saying I know you don't sit there and consciously think, I'm going to go ahead and pick my cuticles and do this. No, I get it. Whether it's a habit or it's a stress reliever, whatever it might be, I get it. But I think as a parent, I just would remind you to bring it to your attention so you can try to make a conscious effort to stop doing it. That's not a bad thing. And I think you would want that. Wouldn't you want?
I appreciate.
Am I really bothering you by telling you not to do it?
I appreciate the intent. I don't need it. I don't need the reminder.
Well, I disagree with you. I disagree with you because you said you said it's an involuntary.
You disagree with how I feel about my own self.
Correct.
Okay.
100%. Because you're not speaking from a good place.
My own thoughts.
Your thoughts are just incorrect. Bron, what's so bad if when you're doing, I just say, Bronsen, you're picking your cuticles, just to remind you.
It's not so bad. It's just like
you fidget. You like to fidget. You
right, and so that's another one. I fidget, and that also bothers you.
Well, when you're shredding a friggin' napkin or tissue table in 1,000 little pieces, I say, just stop doing what you're doing. I'm not like, listen, you fuck, you dumb fuck. I just say, Bronsen, stop picking or biting the tissue. You got that from Uncle Lloyd. You know that, right?
And why is that such a bad thing? You know what I think it really is? Why I need to fidget?
Yeah, let's.
Do you remember the movie Mr. Megorium's Wonder Emporium with Dustin Hoffman and Natalie Portman?
No.
So it was about this woman who was played by Natalie Portman, and she was like, didn't have any direction in her life or whatever, and she joined this toy store, which was Mr. Megorium's Wonder Emporium.
I remember seeing that years ago.
I haven't seen it in so long. But anyways, this part stuck with me because throughout the whole movie, she was very fidgety, and she like couldn't help touch like things. When she was sitting at a desk, she would have to fidget with an object, which is the same that I have to do. And what it turned out was that she was actually a genius, a secret genius, and she had like a whole concerto in her brain. She was like a Mozart. And it was all hidden in her brain, and her fidgeting was it trying to escape. It was like her genius trying to find a way
energy
to
coming
express
out.
itself. Right.
All right,
So
what's
that's
your
probably
excuse?
what it is.
So not
I'm
probably.
a secret genius.
Really? So when are we going to see that?
We just got to wait for who's going to be my Mr. Megorium. I need
no,
my Mr.
I'll be
Megorium.
Mr. Megorium by telling you not to do it. How about that?
No, I need you to help me channel that energy into something constructive.
Maybe just go get a girlfriend and get laid, and that will help channel it.
No, I'm enjoying my single life now.
I'm happy for you. Again, I'm not harassing you. I'm
I know.
not shaming you. I'm just trying to bring it to your attention so we help you not do it. That's all.
All right.
It's not
like I said, I appreciate the intent. It's unnecessary. But if apparently you're just going to keep doing it because
Well, I don't want to make you feel bad. Does it make you feel bad?
It doesn't make me feel bad. It's just annoying as shit.
Okay, and watch you pick your nails is annoying as shit too. So what can I tell you?
Then don't watch me pick my nails.
You're right in front of me. Seriously, I'm watching you pick it.
All right. Anyways, last week, so LA is like back in lockdowns.
Oh, what's going on with LA? Really?
And
Is
it
there an issue?
never even left lockdowns. Really, it's one of the strictest places COVID restriction wise in the country. Right.
Okay.
Last week, so before this, actually, for people who don't know, you still can't eat indoors in Los Angeles. You can't eat with more than 6 people at a table, indoors or outdoors in Los Angeles. What else do we have to preface with that? I guess that's it.
They have the Thanksgiving restrictions. You can't.
Well, yeah,
gather.
that's
you
a whole-
can't play music, right?
No, you can't sing or chant out loud.
Could you imagine?
Because then you're spreading more germs.
Yeah, beautiful.
But anyways, so there were all those restrictions that were put in place by Gavin Newsom, who's the governor of California. Stop touching the arm.
It's my ingenious thing, Bronsen.
Last week, there were pictures that were taken of Gavin Newsom and California health board officials. There were like 10 people at a table indoors,
hypocrites, full of
eating
shit.
dinner at the French Laundry, which is like one of the fanciest restaurants in the world
in Napa.
Yep. So they had like a private dinner at the French Laundry indoors, no masks on, like 10 people at the table. Not only the governor who said that no one else can do that, but also not all the health board officials, but let me see exactly who it was. It was
Bronson's typing away. The genius mind's coming out.
It was, I know it was health board officials. Oh, freaking LA Times website. I hate this so much. I want to read one article and they make me subscribe.
Yeah.
So I have to pay.
Well, I'm not giving LA any money. Fuck them.
No, but
listen.
that's
So Bronson, do you remember
the
a
worst.
couple weeks ago, Pelosi with the whole mask thing, and she was in the salon
Yeah.
with no mask. Cuomo, same exact thing, out in the hands and smoke a cigar, no mask. They're all hypocrites, every one of them. They're all full of shit.
Yeah. It's
Full of shit. So you were in LA and you just got back, right? Because you live there.
I live in LA, but now we'll be in Florida for
A couple of months.
Yeah, the next couple of months through the holidays.
Love having you here.
I'm loving the freedom that's here.
Working from home.
Yeah, I can go and do whatever I want. Not that I'm doing much because we're still in a pandemic, but just the fact that I can do whatever I want is a really nice feeling.
So you were gung-ho in LA. You've been living there a couple of years. You're still going to obviously live there, but you don't miss it. You've seen it gone down in the past couple of months, haven't you?
Yeah, which is really sad. And it's definitely gone downhill. And I think the majority of the reason why is just
governor.
bad policies by the
Yes.
mayor of LA and the governor. They've just made bad decisions in terms of forcing businesses to stay closed. And so you walk down the street in LA, a main shopping street, like you walk down 3rd
Melrose,
Street.
or even Melrose, right?
Melrose or 3rd Street or Santa Monica, like you'll walk down these main streets and half the buildings are completely boarded up because they're out of business, fully out of business. And then the other half...
Because they were looted and destroyed, which they were, right?
Right, but that's not even the reason why they're out of business. They're out of business because they're legally not allowed to operate business. The mayor, I guess, is trying to do what he thinks is best, but I just am so against the idea of one man who I didn't even elect because I didn't vote in LA when Mayor Garcetti was put in place because I didn't live there then. So I live in a city ruled by one person who can tell me what I can and can't do. Like, I'm just so against that. I should be able to, especially if I owned a business. If I owned a business, I should be able to do whatever I want with the business. So I'm sure that he's trying to do what he thinks is right.
I don't think so. I don't think that's the case. It's all about
Maybe
power.
I'm not sure. I would hope
it's all about making
Yeah, it
people...
must be about power because Newsom clearly isn't doing what he thinks is right because he's going against his own guidelines with the health board people who haven't
they're all
been able
hypocrites.
I
They
haven't
don't
been able
give
to
a
find
shit.
their name yet.
They're hypocrites. Unbelievable. Isn't that unbelievable?
Yeah, it says here, the governor visited the restaurant with more than 3 other households at the same time that he and his administration were warning Californians not to gather with their own families during Thanksgiving.
Right. It's ridiculous.
This is from the LA Times, too.
Unbelievable. Well, I'm glad you're home. Bryce comes home on Tuesday. I'll have all my boys home. It'll be a great Thanksgiving. I love
It's going to be a different kind of Thanksgiving this year. Probably a better one.
Why
in terms of not many people. So usually Thanksgiving is like the Bloom holiday. That's the one our family goes
mom
all
was
out
Martha
for.
Stewart on the house.
Yeah, it's nuts. And we usually have what, like 50 people over, 60
50
people
to
over?
60 people, yeah.
Huge thing. We have 3 turkeys. We have a huge buffet of food. Everyone in our lives know that, Thanksgiving, okay, the Blooms, we're going to the
Right,
Blooms.
the big one.
But this year we're going to have like 10 people
No, I
over.
think 14 people.
That's including us though.
Yeah,
it's only about
we're
10.
6.
Right, so only
8 more.
Yeah, coming over.
It's enough.
Honestly, it's going to be way nicer.
I'm excited.
It's going to be way nicer.
Yeah, 'cause when we have
don't
50
have all the crazy old relatives.
Oh my God. And it's all mom's side, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
It's a lot. Oh my God. So it'll be nice to have the 14 of us or 16 of us be more intimate. It'll be nice to be able to eat in the dining room. And then we'll get up. We do our routine, right? Oh, here's another thing. Fucking
No
Cuomo.
Macy's Day
No
Parade.
Macy's Day Parade.
Yeah, we could do without that. For
It's
traditional
tradition.
purposes.
But come on. To do away with that?
But like we wake up on Thanksgiving, we're like, oh, the Macy's Day Parade. We can't wait to watch it. And then after 7 minutes of watching it, we're like, okay, this shit sucks.
But it's in the background while we're all making the food. And we go to Dunkin' Donuts to get our stuff and then we watch the dog show.
Right. But even the dog show we just wait for the great day to come on.
Yeah.
And that's it.
We're a great day in family. That's why. It's tradition, Bronsen. It's one more tradition that's in the toilet.
Yeah.
It's a shame. But it'll be nice.
It'll be nice to have less people this year. Bryce will be cooking up his famous beef Wellington.
Which is a killer, the beef Wellington.
Yeah.
For selfish reasons, I'm happy it's less people. I get more time
we get
with
some
my family.
crazy ass old people that used to come. Weirdos. Like literally, you would think that they were like crack whores that walked in off the street.
Yeah, that's the way it is. It's,
Some of them are probably crack whores.
probably from Oregon. Whatever.
Oregon. Remember, whenever people mess that up, it reminds me of I was on a road trip once through Oregon, and remember I got a speeding ticket. Do you remember this? It was years ago.
That guy was a dick. They're talking about the lawyer?
Yeah.
I called the lawyer to work on it?
Right. So I got a speeding ticket in Oregon when I was on a road trip with my friends 4 or 5 years ago, and I forgot about the ticket. I was younger back then, and it was on like the first week of a 3-week road trip, so I just forgot about it. And then 2 months later, I think we got a call from someone, and it turns out there was a warrant out for my arrest in the state of Oregon because I didn't show up to court. I didn't pay the ticket or anything. And then so I was freaking out, and we were trying to get it fixed. And mom was on the phone with a law office in Oregon to try to like represent me to get it fixed. And mom kept calling it Oregon, and the person got pissed.
You get a
and
life.
kept correcting her.
So you might point about the people that live in that state? I mean, seriously, that's the issue?
There was a warrant out for my arrest at one point. That's kind of badass. I got to put that on my resume or something.
That's from the Savage part of Jon Savage.
I got to put that on my Instagram bio.
Yeah,
had a warrant out.
I don't think there was a warrant for your arrest.
There was. Mom, 100% there was. That's what the lawyer told her. I think that's how we remembered it, because someone called and like some government thing. I don't know.
Who knows? I remember it cost me over $200. I remember it cost me over $200. Remember that?
Yeah.
But we got it resolved. We hid you out for 3 years in South Florida.
Yeah. Do you ever drive under the speed limit? I never do.
Under the speed limit?
Like if you're on a highway, I'm never driven
I'm cruising.
on. Right. There should.
Well, you're my son. I want to hear
you.
you. I want to hear you that you are driving the speed limit.
No, I. Why would I lie to you? I'm not going to lie to you.
I'd rather you lie to me. Why? How fast
don't-
you speeding?
If it's 70, if it's 65, I'll go 75, 80. If it's 70, I'll go 85.
Today we went to that function. I was going 110 in the car.
Right. So
It
that's
felt like 40 miles an hour.
I don't even think there should be speed limits. I think we should do autobahn and just drive.
Like in Europe?
They say that's kind of safer. That speeding most accidents happen from slow cars, not from fast
Could be.
cars.
It's I never thought about that, whether there should be speed limits or not.
Because no one abides by
You don't
them
think in
anyways.
residential neighborhoods, things like that, school
That's a different,
zones,
of course.
But on the highway,
I'm talking about highway only. That's why I said
like if you want to go slow, move over to the fucking right lane. Move to the right lane.
They don't anyways. The people don't.
Because you ever notice it's always the Hyundai, the shitty little Toyota, or the Honda, or the real.
Well, I wasn't going to take it there, but
It's always the liberal cars that are driving in the left lane going 45 miles an hour. And they see you and like, move the fuck over. And it's usually like some fat person that like, oh yeah, she has 12 cats at home.
a lot of people are oblivious to everyone on the road.
That's what it is. They're clueless.
Yeah.
No, you see it. And when you pass them, they don't even look at you. They don't even know.
Yeah, because they're oblivious.
Yeah, they don't know what's going on.
But no one abides by the speed limit. Even people who say they abide by the speed limit, if it's 65, they're going 70.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong going 5 over.
I go 15 over.
You gotta be careful, Bron.
You were going 40 over.
But I'm an adult.
50.
I'm an
You're
adult.
going 110.
I'm an adult. You
So
be
am I.
careful. But you're my kid.
I'm 24, almost
You're my
25.
kid. Ooh, big adult, tough guy. But you're my
More than a
child.
quarter of my life, statistically. I've
Oh, we're
lived.
okay, Ted.
It's kind of weird.
Yeah,
You're more than half your life.
Isn't that sad?
It is.
What are you gonna do? Gotta enjoy it.
Yeah.
Can't think that way.
No.
You can't think that way. Seriously, you
No,
gotta
I
enjoy.
never do. I
Gotta
never
enjoy
do.
your life.
So I had an idea for a new, what's the word?
I don't know. You're the genius. The fidgets.
A new segment that we can do on this show, like a weekly segment that I think would be a good idea for us.
That's what you couldn't recall.
No,
Okay.
but I got it. I got
Okay.
I found it. So I thought of a new segment idea that we could do to kind of instruct you and educate you on new, modern, youthful things occurring in the world. Like how earlier in the show you said you don't even know what a meme is.
Yeah, I don't understand what I mean.
So I think it'll be beneficial for you for each week for me to come up with a youthful, millennial-esque idea, topic, meme, joke, whatever it might
Okay.
be, and see if you know about it, if
Or
you
like
don't
it.
educate you about it, or like it.
All right. Bronson, I'm open.
So I thought this week
For your young
a great
listeners.
one, which I think you would find interesting, is the world of incels. Do you know what that is?
No.
So
Sounds,
if
sounds like insects.
So if I said to you like, "Oh, that person's such an incel," you would have no idea what that means.
No, and I'd be like, what stupid thing is this?
All right, so let's dive into the history of incel, and I'll tell you the whole story, and we'll get your reaction.
There's a whole story behind it.
Well, it's like a whole world. It's a subculture. It's like if you said to me like, "Do you know about Harley Davidson?" and I was like, "No," and you said, "All right, there's a whole story behind it," and you told me the whole culture. It's a culture, if you will, incel culture.
All right, so I want to see if the analogy, because incel. Okay, go ahead. I'll
So
let you talk.
it stands for involuntarily celibate. Incel. So there's a group of men that exist in the world.
God.
They've been popularizing the internet because they've all found each other. There's a group of men that call themselves incels. They've put that word onto themselves. It's not like other people are
Involuntary.
Right.
Because they can't get laid on their own.
Yes.
How sad is that?
So it gets sadder.
Interesting. Insight. Wow, that's sad.
Oh, Dad, it gets sad.
And they come out of the public and tell each
Wait,
other?
wait,
Oh,
let-
that's
yeah.
so sad. and
So it's this
pathetic.
group of men.
Not women?
No, it's
Because any
it's a-
woman can get laid.
It's a very male thing. So it started where like this internet meme. Actually, I don't know if this started it, but so, anyways, incel, involuntarily celibate. These men deem it upon themselves. They call themselves incels because they believe that women don't want to sleep with them, no matter how hard they try, whatever they do.
And you know what? I don't blame these
won't
women.
sleep with them.
I don't blame women for
Well, they believe that there's like this eternal power struggle within the male community for women, that are like men are competing for women constantly, and that there are incels, and then there are these men called chads, like the name Chad.
I've heard people say don't be a Chad. I don't know what that means.
Right.
But
So-
it's derogatory. You got like...
No,
you're
a
like,
Chad, kind of, but incels look up to Chads. So a Chad is someone who they always describe it as like a chiseled jaw, good hair, muscular, confident.
That's a Chad.
Is a Chad, and Chads, women only want to sleep with Chads. So if you're not born a Chad, your women won't want to sleep with you, and that's women's fault. So that's what incels is like, very misogynistic. Like they're very anti-women because they probably just haven't been laid in their
Right.
life. So they're like
They
women.
really need to be getting... They should get a prostitute just to get laid.
So they say like women are the problem because they only want to sleep with desirable men called Chads. And it's like, yeah, no shit. Of course women want to.
Well, also go within your range.
Right.
If you're a 4...
No, but they'll look at like...
you got to go for a 4.
Right. They'll look at like Kylie Jenner and be like, Kylie Jenner would never sleep with me because I'm not a Chad. And it's
Okay.
like, yeah, because you
But
live in
you're
your
not a
basement.
10.
Yeah, exactly.
Know your limits.
Right.
4s have to be with 4s.
Twos have to be with twos.
It's okay.
There
There's
are
nothing
ones
wrong-
that exist in
There's
the world.
nothing wrong with that, but they
No.
have to be with it.
Right.
That's just the way it is.
So they say that there are these Chads, and they really look up to the Chads. Like they don't hate them. They think that they're like gods. And then so they're the Chads, and then there are incels,
This is
the
retarded.
involuntarily
See
celibate.
the problem with our world where it's going? That there's a whole society of this thing, a social subculture that...
yeah. Oh, Dad, it's a whole subculture. They have internet forums and they have meetups, and it's a whole thing. Incels, and
I bet they're doing each other, these guys.
no, now they're like, because they're involuntarily celibate, then they become like volcel, which is another thing, voluntarily celibate. So
they
some
have no choice.
incels will become volcels because they're like, I'm taking my sexuality into my own hands, and screw the women. I don't even need them. I don't need to
They
have
just
sex.
masturbate.
Yeah, and they just live sad, miserable
Sad,
lives.
pathetic people, yeah.
But how funny is that there was a group of people who were so spurned by women not liking them for reasons that are their own reasons.
100%. The fact that they call themselves an incel, why would
That's
women
what's
want
funny.
them?
Exactly.
That in of itself.
And they literally flaunt it. They walk around calling themselves incels.
It gives them a purpose, I guess. It's sad.
Yeah.
It's sad.
Stone calls himself an incel in a joking way. Or no, he says, you know what he said? I think he once said he's a voluntary incel. Like he's choosing to not be
He'll
able to
find
have
it.
sex
He'll
with women.
find his way.
But he was joking when he said it. Shout
He
out
is
to you,
fine.
Stone.
Word up, Stone. We love you, Stoney.
Yeah.
Love you too, John. Love you too. That's a weird subculture. That people, I mean, and anyone can get laid. It's not. There's every pot finds its cover, especially today's day. and
I don't know.
age.
There are some guys out there that are probably
That shouldn't be laid.
Right.
They should not procreate, have any chance of procreating and bringing their terrible genetic back into a possible child. Right?
yeah. And anyone who's proudly an incel should not reproduce. I'm okay with saying
No, but
that.
they're just being a little bitch because they can't get laid, or there's something wrong with them, and they want to label themselves and have a sense of belonging to a group of incels. Oh my god!
But how funny is it that they can't get laid, so then they say it's the women's fault that they can't get
Well,
laid?
that's what people do.
Yeah.
People in society blame everybody else for their actions other than themselves. That's just the way it is. Because if they had to blame themselves, they have to look up. It's like looking in the mirror and realize what your flaws are, and they don't want, and that they'd be shameful. They don't want to do that.
Yeah.
So it's easy to blame somebody else. They're the victim, not the cause of their problems. Big difference.
Yeah.
That goes back to the whole entitlement. I think we spoke about this on the first episode. That whole victim mentality, and I hate that shit. Or whatever. People incels. Oh my god.
Yeah.
And a lot of it so grows from the internet too. The
incel
when you-
wouldn't exist if it wasn't for the
Correct.
internet. It's because
Same-
they all got together
Correct.
and found each other and started a community for them.
This is the same as when you showed me those stupid people that married the fluffies, whatever.
Yeah, the bronies.
Oh my!
I bet bronies are very
Are
close
incels.
in the internet world to incels.
I bet you they're probably relatives.
Yeah, there's definitely some
It's like
crossover.
cousins of incels are bronies.
Or bronies are incels who decided that women would never get with them.
And
so
this
they went
all
with My Little
falls under the
Ponies.
NAMBLA umbrella.
What's NAMBLA?
People who like young boys like sickos, I'm saying. Meaning,
NAMBLA?
yeah, this is called NAMBLA. Look it up. What does NAMBLA stand for or something?
Do you mean ligma? Do you know what ligma is?
No, I don't know.
Lick my balls,
Lick my nuts, bitch.
Gotcha. Fell for that shit.
I caught it on. Oh, I caught it on a minute.
Ligma.
Lick my ass, bitch.
I'm shocked you even knew. It took you a second, but
It
you
took
knew
me
it.
a second.
That's a very youthful internet meme culture thing. Ligma.
Swing says what?
Good one. But what's NAMBLA? I don't even know.
Look it
what
up.
that is.
NAMBLA. NAMBLA, I think. Nationalism.
North American Man Boy Love Association.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh my God, what is this?
You never heard about that?
NAMBLA is a pedophilia and pederasty advocacy organization in the U.S. It works to abolish age of consent laws, criminalizing
Could you
adult
imagine?
sexual involvement with minors, and campaigns for the release of men who have been jailed for sexual conduct with minors that did not involve what it considers coercion. Oh my God, how is this a thing?
Yeah, this is the internet. That's my point. This
How
is
did
like,
you know about this?
Oh, we've known about this for years.
The NAMBLA logo, the capital M and lowercase b symbolize a man and a boy together.
Could you imagine?
That's,
scary shit.
oh my God.
But Bronsen, this is all power.
So NAMBLA is just the Catholic Church, right? Boom, got him.
Ooh,
Got
ooh.
him.
We lost some listeners there.
Got him.
Time to fidget with your cuticles.
This is a terrifying thing. Well, you know, there's like a whole culture on the internet about like how pedophilia is just a sexual preference and a sexual
But
kink.
this is my point of the internet. How fucked up things
Well, no,
are.
this is fucked up. This is the definition of
Okay,
fucked up.
listen, you really think the My Little Pony peoples are not one level above this? I mean, below it? That's the
The
next
My
phase.
Little Pony is way better than this
No,
because they're just trying to be
Bronson-
happy.
no,
This is
Bronson-
attacking children.
Bronson, these people that the My Little Pony or the other whatever, I'm telling you, then it's like, you know, they say people who harm animals end up killing, you know, when they're kids, they shoot squirrels and like that, they end up doing more heinous crimes when they're older. These people that are incel or the My Little Pony people, the
Bronies.
next what bronies? The next level is NAMBLA. Telling you, they just haven't found it yet. Scary shit. It's scary, and the internet fosters this stuff because these people.
100%.
There'll be no organization if you didn't have this stuff.
No, because the internet brings weird. The world, society always had weirdos. You always had the village
But they couldn't
idiot.
connect them.
You always had the village creep, but they
Right.
were one per village. Now the world is a giant
they
village.
connect
So there,
it.
yeah, and
it's
there's power in
strengthening.
numbers.
Yes, there is. It's scary.
Yeah.
I mean, that is an organization. It's like scary.
Well, I'm glad we can both educate each other on things going on.
Scary stuff.
But look at you now. You know about incels. You know about bronies. So you're knowing about all these internet
I'm
culture
so more worthwhile than I know about bronies.
things. Yeah,
and
you're a
incels.
better person now.
I don't know about that.
Well, because like we said, some people are better than others.
It does make me more cynical and reaffirms my position of where our world's going today. When you show me these things,
The incel one does for sure.
the brony one scares the fuck
The
out of me.
brony one just makes me feel sad for those people. Incels, I'm like, you guys are idiots.
Bronson. The brony thing. They're seriously emotionally disturbed. If they're going to marry a stuffed animal.
Yes, but that's sad.
No, it's worse.
they're
than-
emotionally
there's some-
disturbed.
No, it's worse than sad. Those are scary people walking the streets.
No, NAMBLA is scary people walking the
Yeah,
streets.
they start as bronies. Guarantee they start as bronies.
All right, well,
How are we on time?
we're hitting an hour 10.
All right, we'll try to wrap it up, don't you think?
Yeah, I think that was a good one. We didn't get too heated.
No, but that's okay.
Yeah.
All right, so this is episode 4. Everybody have a great Thanksgiving. Enjoy.
Yes. Happy Thanksgiving. We'll see you after.
Yes.
We'll speak to you after.
Eat a lot. Enjoy. Be thankful for all the good things, and we'll speak to you guys in a week.
Yes. And next week, we will be having Bryce and Burke live on the podcast, not over the phone. They'll be in studio, and Dad, you will be here as well. So it's going to be all the brothers and you. So
Yeah, you're not gonna-
It'll be real daddy issues because it's going to be all the sons.
Are we
and the
gonna
dad.
all be attacking me? 'Cause
Yes.
that's not fucking right. I'm not doing that shit. Seriously.
No. It'll be a love. It'll be a loving one.
I get it, but it's not for my kids to berate me.
Well, it's called daddy issues.
I get it. But it's a play on words, right? What do you call it?
Right.
Conundrum?
Conundrum?
What do you call it?
A double entendre?
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Conundrum. I mean, it kind of is a conundrum too. Though.
But yeah, I'm not looking for you guys to start pulling shit. But that's all right. I know how my boys.
I think it'll be fun to have all. The three of us haven't been together in a while.
No,
Well, August.
I'm so looking
August.
forward to it. All right, so great Thanksgiving,
Happy
everybody.
Thanksgiving, everyone.
Love you guys. Thanks for your following.
We are thankful for all of you listeners joining us.
You're so nice, Brady.
Yeah, and we'll be back next week.